Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good. I wanted to do a quick prediction video for Jermell Charlo and Brian Castano. I think this is a great fight. I think, Charlo is in a position, and Castano, where they can create a legacy, become an undisputed 154-pound champion. I think it's a great fight. I think stylistically, it's going to be a very good fight. Castano is a come-forward fighter. Charlo is a very explosive fighter. I've enjoyed. I think Charlo's very. I think he's underrated. I think he's gonna burst himself onto the, or could burst onto the scene tonight as one of the best fighters in the world of boxing. I've been very impressed with Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo he's beaten guys like what's his name, Trout. He's also beaten Rosario. He's beaten Lubin, and he's had very good wins. He's had very good knockouts. The knockout of Erickson Lubin was very, very emphatic, very, very good. I think Charlo is a very, very good fighter. And Harrison, well, how can we forget Harrison? A fight which he lost, and then he came back and avenged his loss. So I think Charlo is a very, very good fighter. And I actually think that Jermell Charlo, I personally think that he's one of the best fighters in the world. I don't think he gets credit for it. And I think if he was to beat Castano tonight, then I think he's going to get the credit that he deserves, and he's going to go onto that pound for pound list without question. Now, Jermell, for me, is a quality fighter. I think he's a very, very big puncher, very explosive puncher. He's got a very good jab. And he's very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Castano is a come-forward fighter. He's an all-action-packed fighter. He throws a lot of punches. And this styles make fights. And stylistically, I think this is going to make for a very, very good fight. My prediction is I think Charlo's going to knock him out. I think Charlo's going to land something nasty and get him out of there. Timothy Bradley said this as well, and I just see him landing a huge uppercut or a massive right hand, a left hook or something, because like I said, Charlo's got power in all of his hands. Charlo's got power in both hands. I think he's very, very, not just, so there's some people that have power, but there's some people that are explosive. Charlo's explosive. Charlo's very, very explosive, and I think we saw that in the Harrison knockout. He knocked Harrison out in the rematch. He's a very, very good fighter, and he's hungry. He wants to prove himself. He wants to show that he's, and I think he's the better out of the Charlos. I think he's the best Charlo out of the two. I think he's gonna be. I think this one is very special. I like him, Jermell, and I think he's gonna be very, very hard to beat. If I'm honest with you, I personally think that he gets Castano out of there 8-9 rounds. I think if it does go to decision, I think Jermell will win a wide, unanimous decision. I think Jermell is got the bit between his teeth, and ever since losing to Tony Harrison, I think he's working even harder. I think he's improving his game, because I think he knows what it's like to lose. And when you taste defeat, you don't want to taste that feeling again, because Jermell was actually very upset in the post-fight. He was actually upset and crying, and he said there that I don't like losing. I don't even like losing in a video game. This is what Jermell said. So when someone loses, I think they don't want to go through that feeling again. I think Jermell strikes me as one of those guys that's he's working his butt off. And I just don't see anyone stopping that train right now. I don't see anybody at 154. I don't see anyone stopping that train. I don't see anyone stopping him. I think he's the best 154 pounder. I don't think this is going to be easy. I think Castano could give him trouble early on when he's fresh. But as Castano tires a little bit, I think Charlo will catch him with something explosive and get him out of there. I do. I think Charlo. I think Charlo's just too good. He's too good. I think his punching power at the weight is too much. It's going to be very interesting to see if Charlo does win, right? How he's taken. Because right now, I feel like Charlo doesn't really get the credit that he deserves. I feel like Charlo's a little underrated. I think Charlo deserves a lot more credit and respect than what he gets, to be honest with you. That's my take. I think Charlo deserves a lot more credit. I think he deserves a lot more respect put on his name than what he gets. But it's going to be interesting if he does win this fight, especially if he wins this fight in emphatic fashion, how people take to him after this fight, because he would be an undisputed champion. But then what I also am interested in is where Charlo goes from here. Is Charlo going to go to middleweight? Is Charlo going to stay and look to defend his titles at 154? It's going to be very interesting to see what Charlo actually does from here on in. Because like I said, I am very interested. I am keen to see how his career plays out. And I do think he's the better out of the Charlos. He's the best brother out of the two. So I think once you become undisputed, I think the natural move is up to 160. But there are talks about guys like Terence Crawford and Danny Garcia wanting to fight him. So would Jermell Charlo, because let's not forget, those would be the biggest names or the biggest fights for him financially, most likely, because let's be honest, the names at 154, although they're very, very good, like Harrison, Lubin, they aren't big names and they aren't guys that are going to make you huge amounts of money compared to a Danny Garcia or Terence Crawford. You would say the guys at welterweight have a much bigger profile and bigger names than the ones at 154. So maybe if Jermell gets an inkling that these guys from 147 are willing to come up to fight him, he may stay longer. Now, the fight that would make a lot of sense would be Errol Spence, because Errol Spence is a big welterweight and he's a big guy which he could move up and fight, and that would be a super fight. I think Jermell and Spence are too close and I don't see that fight taking place. So I think a Terence Crawford fight could be something that really gets the juices flowing and the fans excited. I would like to see that fight. I would love to see that fight. It would be Terence Crawford daring to be great, and Terence Crawford would have an opportunity to become an undisputed 154-pound champion. If you know, Jermell wins tonight, and it would be a massive payday and a massive fight, and a fight where Terence Crawford could literally put all the doubters to one side. So I would like to see that fight. I don't know what you guys think, but I would definitely like to see Terence Crawford v Jermell Charlo. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.